Hey guys, I hope you guys had an amazing weekend and happy Monday. Decided to start this new little series called Messy Makeup Mondays. Basically where I do like little story times or I talk about current things while I do my makeup. Basically being messy, spilling tea basically, and doing my makeup. And if that's right up your alley, keep watching this video. I'm gonna start off with the Bobbi Brown primer. Today I really want to talk about this whole like girl conversation. Specifically if you guys are like chronically online like I am. There's these two girls on TikTok. I know it's like already passed, but I really want to talk about it. I haven't moved on. And I think their names are Sophia and Hallie, right? And it's like the ginger bitch, if you guys know what I'm talking about, the ginger bitch and the blonde girl. And basically they got into a beef because Hallie, her boyfriend, went on a date with this Sophia girl 2 weeks after they broke up, and Hallie reached out to that girl and was like, hey, are you like on a date with my ex-boyfriend? Because apparently they knew each other because they're both influencers and have been to like a lot of influencer events. A year later, Sophia makes a video basically like confronting everything and kind of shading Hallie and just being really messy. And I think that everybody should go watch that video, like just go look into it. And it brings up the conversation of girls, when is it okay to be mad at a girl? When is it okay to, you know, start beef with a girl? When is it okay to like look the other way when it comes to girls? And I want to talk about my own experience. Oh my goodness, I'm making a mess. I want to talk about my own experience when I had a boyfriend in high school and he cheated on me, right? With one of my good friends, one of my very, very close friends. And I didn't know for like 4 months.
Ah, silly bitch.
And that was probably the most heartbreaking shit that I've been through. But I wanted to also be a lesson because watching this whole video, the biggest thing that was making Hallie's story not believable was she went back to him. Like she talked shit about him. She did all this just to go straight back to him. And that just reminded me of how I was. So let's talk about it. It was like when I was, I think, I want to say 16. I'm about to go do my eyebrows. Actually, I already did my eyebrows. What am I talking about? I'm going to do my lashes. And I'm just going to use my normal lashes. And then my really raggedy lash glue. I'm going to do like a little picture right here of the lashes that I'm using. I got them off TikTok shop. They're really amazing. But back to what I was talking about. So I was easily like 16 years old. My boyfriend, he was a grade below me, but he was also my same age. And then the girl that I was friends with, we're gonna call her Jessica, right? And we're gonna call my boyfriend Dylan, right? So Dylan is my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, and Jessica is on the girl that I was close with, right? So basically I was really close with Jessica. When I tell you, Jessica was one of those girls that were like super deep, right? Super deep, love to, you know, have long conversations, and that's what made me really like her. And one of the reasons why I got really close to her was like 6 months before, right? I went to some party. I got really intoxicated, right, guys? Like, Anna did not know how to hold her liquor. Like, it was so bad, guys. And Jessica was a girl that knew one of my other friends. We're gonna call her Brecky, right? And Jessica was at this party that I was at. And I'm gonna do a story time on that party because that was insane. But basically, and no one was taking care of me. My friends abandoned me and it was really bad, but Jessica took care of me. And I, like, ever since then, like, that kind of was like it for me, and I really appreciated her. So we got close after that, right? And I started seeing this boy, right? And a year in, right? So it wasn't 6 months, it was like a year in. There was this homecoming dance, right? And it was my school's homecoming dance. Basically, I decided to not go to homecoming. I think I didn't go to homecoming. I'm trying to remember. All I know is we didn't actually go to the dance, but we went to the after party. Something like that. We went to the after party, and I invited Dylan, and I invited Jessica, and I invited Jessica and Dylan's friend, who was very, very close to both of them, and we're gonna call her Lynn, right? So Lynn, Dylan, and Jessica all came to this school after party that I invited them to, right? And we went to this party and it was really fine and like no big deal. Everything was fine. We ended up leaving. Jessica and Lynn ended up leaving before me and Dylan. And Dylan dropped me off around 12 o'clock, right? And he was like, bye, baby. I'm gonna go home now. I might go hang out with Lynn and Jessica afterwards. Because keep in mind, Lynn was like one of his like girl best friends. And when I tell you I was fucking delusional back then, guys, like I used to let my man have fucking sleepovers. Sleepovers with other women. Like that's like insane. Like actually insane, right? So I used to let him have sleepovers with other girls because once again I was like an annoying pick-me girl that was like, oh my goodness babe, you can totally do that and you can totally sleep over with girls, I trust you, like oh my goodness, I'm just such an amazing cool chill girlfriend. I am not a cool chill girlfriend ever again after that.
Not around here, partner. Not around here.
So anyways, I'm thinking nothing about it. I go to sleep thinking I had an amazing night and everything is fine. The next day, I get a little text from Dylan. He's like, babe, holy shit, like, oh my goodness. I had like the craziest night ever. Okay, so a bunch of the footage was cut. So I'm gonna do just a quick little brief of what I think I said. I try to watch over the videos. I don't really remember. I ramble so much, guys. But I believe I left off, guys, on the part of how he texted me the next morning after the whole like sneaking out with his friends and basically told me that he was really intoxicated the night before and that Jessica just was this like amazing saint that helped him a lot. And I was really happy and thinking that Jessica was a good person and just taking care of my man in a time of distress, whatever, right? So a few weeks pass. I get a call from Jessica and she's like, hey, I wanted to ask you, did Dylan ever tell you about what happened homecoming night? And I said, oh yeah, he already told me. He told me he got really drunk and that you helped him and that you were just really sweet and you were just really helpful and like thank you so much, like you're so amazing, like I really appreciate you. And she's like, oh, he didn't tell you anything else? I'm like, no, like was that all? And she said, yes, that's all. And like,
Bitch, I see what you did there.
like it just went on, like our conversation went on and I'm thinking back like what the actual F, Anna, like what the flip. You should have let that girl talk. You should have let that girl talk. And the foundation that I just used, the foundation that I just used is the Urban Decay base bond in the shade 23. And then I'm using this like mini Sayer glow stuff. It's really pretty on the shade Sun Glow. It's really great. But let me continue on. I'm thinking, what the actual F, Anna? Like, why aren't you letting this girl basically confess the fact that she was weird as fuck with your man? But anyways, so months and months go by. During these months, me and Dylan are having relationship issues. And I'm starting to feel really like insecure in my relationship because all of a sudden, Jessica's being brought up a lot. And I'm noticing Jessica and Dylan hanging out more. I'm noticing Jessica and Dylan talking more, calling more, and this is all weird. I'm thinking like, what the actual heck is going on, y'all? And it got to a point where Dylan would compare me to Jessica. Like he would say things like, Jessica is just so more like, she's so intelligent and like you could really learn from how smart she is.
DGAF. I don't give a fuck. Period.
When it comes to understanding, like she's so much more understanding than you are. She's just so much better at arguments and like she's just easier to talk to. Like he would say crazy shit like that. And like I'm thinking in my head, like you want to go like F on her? Like if you want to
Just fuck him. Just fuck him.
Like go do that. Like I was getting pissed. And I'm like, what? There should be no reason your man should ever talk about another girl like that with you. But since I was such an insecure little girl and I was so like hanging on to the fact that this is my first real boyfriend, the first boyfriend that ever took me on real dates, and like I was a pick-me-sha, bro. I was like stuck in this illusion or delusion of like, oh, like I'm gonna make him like me. It'll be fine. And it shouldn't be. He should already like you, appreciate you for who you are. He should never compare you to other girls, making you hate girls. Like, that shouldn't be a thing.
Clock it. You waited till we left. Clock it. Snuck in here. Clock it. Went through our...
You know? And I hated that, right? I felt like I was a bad person when I was with him. Anyways, so a few months go by. Everything happened in October, right? January comes by. January. It's January, February. End of January or beginning of February. Around that time, right? I get a little call from Lynn. You guys remember Lynn? She is Dylan's best friend, right? She's Dylan's best friend. Girl best friend. And remember, guys, I let Dylan in the past do sleepovers with her, all that weird shit, right? And I didn't think much of it. Dylan was never odd in that sense, you know? And she always kept it P. You know, Dylan, not Dylan, I'm saying Lynn always kept it P, and Dylan and her never did anything funky, so I never thought of it in any type of way. I still think I was a pick-Misha, though, in the sense that, like, why the fuck are you letting your man have sleepovers with girls? Like, are you, like, serious right now? Are you dumb? Like, are you dumb or are you dumb? But I wanted to tell you guys, I'm mixing my two favorite concealers. I'm doing the Too Faced concealer, and then I'm doing the Morphe concealer. And the Morphe concealer is a Filter Effect shade, I want to say Deep 34, and then the Too Faced, I'm using Caramel. Perfect, the perfect match. But anyways, so Dylan and Lynn are just really close, whatever, don't care, right? Lynn is close to Jessica, right? They're also besties, you know, we're all little besties, but Lynn and Jessica got really, really close, right? Anyways, so Lynn and her get into a little argument, and you know how girls are. Once they get into an argument with each other, they run to anyone they can find to go talk their talk their shoot, or whatever word, because I don't know if I'm actually allowed to swear. I know I've been swearing, but like I'm trying to not. But started to talk crazy, and basically she informed me that on the night of homecoming, after being dropped off, right, Dylan drove his little booty back home, picked Lynn and Jessica up, met up with a bunch of other people from his school, including girls that he used to fuck with, that I was not cool with him hanging out, that I was not wanting him to be around, but he very much did. He very much left that part out when he told me about his night out, when he woke up the next day after that, right? Never told me anything this. She starts telling me all the names of these people. I'm pissed. It gets worse. So she tells me towards the end of the night, she goes off to go meet up with some friends, right? And so she leaves Dylan and Jessica alone. The next day, she walks back to the fucking car, guys. The effing flipping car. She sees a shirtless Dylan in the backseat of his car with his doors, like, not doors, his seats down, and a freaking Jessica, bro, I can't. A Jessica wearing his effing jersey, wearing his jersey, guys, with no pants on, guys. Cuddling! Let me tell you something about Anna Red. Let me tell y'all something. If I find out you're doing anything funky when it comes to me, especially if I've done nothing to you, like never talked on you, never did anything, if I find out that you are doing me dirty, right, behind my back, there's no morals when it comes to me. Like back then, I want to say I have more morals now when it comes to, you know, like I'm not, you know, as evil, but like I cannot stand a backstabbing B-word. I cannot stand a backstabbing man. Like I go, literally my mind goes blank and I go insane mode, right? I'm like, I will spam you till you shut your phone off and throw it into the ocean. I will press you. I will yell in your face. You know how people are like, oh, she'll never see you. I will say it to your face. I will say every type of insult you can freaking think of. I hate it. I'm not a fighter, but I will destroy you with my words. I will make you feel like shit. You know what I mean? I'm just that way, and it's really bad. And I have fixed that. I have, like, you know, fixed my anger. and learned that when people do you wrong, sometimes you just have to take it and just leave and walk away. Like, you don't need to express your anger every single time. But I did not do that with this situation, y'all. What made me mad about this situation was there were so many clear signs. And learn from the situation, people aren't that good at hiding, okay? Usually when your man starts talking about another woman, okay? Or he's thinking about it. I stand on that. If your man is talking about another girl more than 3 fucking times in a sentence, in a conversation, he's fucking that bitch, okay? He's getting with her. And that is something that I wish someone would have just told me, right? And then another thing that I needed to realize, because I was very much gaslit this entire situation from both sides. Let me get to that part before I talk about the way I think about things. But basically, I confront both of them, right? You know what Jessica tells me? Jessica tells me, oh my God, no, that never happened. That never happened. He was literally saying your name and he thought I was you. Bitch! Jessica, you are a 5'7" white girl. Be for real. Jessica, don't play with me. Jessica, you are a 5'7" white girl. I am like 5'1", a dark-skinned black woman. Be fucking for real, you bitch. Like, be for real. Oh my God. What the fuck do you mean? He confused us. He confused us together, Anna. He confused us. No, the fuck he did not. And why did Dylan go along with that too? Because I told him, oh, apparently you thought she was me. He's like, I did. Are you for real? Guys, let's be serious right now. Go back to a time when you got intoxicated. I have been intoxicated so many times. Like, thankfully, I don't get that way anymore. But I used to not be able to hold my liquor, right? And all I know is I sure did not mix up a tall-ass white woman to a short black girl. I've never done that in my life. Especially if it's like the love of my life. I've never confused the love of my life for someone else in my ever. That shit is crazy. Like, blew me. Like, that shit blew me. I was like, be serious. But anyways, I was like, oh, okay, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go ballistic crazy on her, guys. And it turns into this like back and forth argument. She won't admit to the fact that what she did was fucked, right? She won't admit to that. She will not admit to the fact that basically I have every right to be mad, right? And then Dylan, on the other hand, he's denying everything. He's saying, she took advantage of me, Anna. She took advantage of me. I promise. And my dumbass believed her. And when I tell you I went crazy, guys, like when I say I went crazy, and I regret this with the one thing I regret in life is how crazy I went on this girl. The only thing that I will give her slack on, because she did fuck me over still, is believing when Dylan told me she took advantage of him. Because when I tell you, it was really bad, guys. It was bad. I went crazy on her, and like, it was so bad. Eventually, I apologized to her when I realized that this nigga is a liar, a literal liar. I apologized to her and I said, I'm sorry for ever thinking and saying all those things to you, or telling my friends that you did that. Like, I'm sorry, whatever, right? Like, I went crazy on her. Anyways, so I've ended up having this beef with her for a really long time. I did not like her. I stayed with Dylan, and this is what the whole video is about, guys, y'all. And if I have advice to any girl, and like, I give myself some slack because, okay, Anna, you were 16. You were a girl. You were a stupid fucking girl. Just like how Dylan and Jessica did you wrong. Jessica never took advantage of Dylan. Dylan till this day will say he got taken advantage by her. He did not. That nigga did not. He's a liar. He ended up cheating on me like 5 other times after that. You know what I mean? He did not. He was just a cheater and a liar. And I always stood on like believe, but this nigga was using a very sensitive thing to get away with something. You know what I mean? And like, all of his friends stayed cool with Jessica. Like, it was really bad. It was really bad. But basically, what I wish I could tell myself back then was, you need to learn that you don't need to pick sides. sometimes it's not your boyfriend's the victim. Sometimes it's not the girl's the victim. It's both parties did you wrong, you leave, right? And like, it was so stupid of me. Like, I remember, like, I think I made like a TikTok about like when your friend like home wrecks. I think I did that. It was so stupid. You know what I mean? And like, guys, that shit is so childish, and like, I can fully admit as a 20-year-old woman right now, if I could take back that entire time and just shake my 16-year-old self and be like, no nigga is worth it. No nigga is worth dragging somebody. No matter if she knew that you guys were together or anything like that, she is not worth it. No nigga's worth that shit. Never, ever, ever. I don't care. Your worth, your ego should not be, you should never stoop that low. And that is something that I really want to reiterate. Like, I'm not cool with Jessica now. Like, I don't have any animosity towards her, but I just wish that I could take all that back, because I went back with this man and he treated me bad, and I thought for the longest time that he was the victim when he was not the victim. And like, just putting men before girls. Even if the girl did you wrong, listening to a man and staying with him after he did you wrong is the worst thing you could do. Okay guys, my camera literally died and I had to wait like an hour for it to charge again. So annoying. But I think I left off basically how I regret with like basically all my heart with being so stupid and basically allowing myself to be a pick-me, because no, he's not supposed to be forgiven, and she's technically not supposed to be forgiven. But you see how it doesn't make sense for me to be like, oh, this girl's a bad person, but he's fine, I'll forgive him, yada yada yada, knowing he's a liar, all of that. That's still bad, and still holding this grudge and being rude. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like that's like a huge thing that really just changed my mindset on just a lot of stuff. And tying into the whole Ginger and Haley situation, I feel like as women, we have this, I guess, like sometimes this instinct to be very possessive over things. And obviously when we're in relationships, and I used to always say, I just hold my friends to a different standard. I just hold my friends to a different standard. And basically like it doesn't matter. But that's not fair. You know what I mean? Because you cannot, and it's back to publicly announcing it, talking shit, all of that. If I'm gonna talk shit about my ex, or not my ex, that girl, I need to talk shit about my ex. You know what I mean? Because not just one person did it, it was both. So it just like ties into just the whole concept of, I think that is being a pick-me in a way. I think that's being a pick-me, and it takes a lot of balls for me to like admit this out loud. I just kind of like talk to it about my friends, but I don't know, I think it shows growth that I'm able to finally see like, you know what? You were doing too much. Yes, he cheated on you. She stabbed you in your back, basically, you know? But you need to learn to love yourself and not put up with shit and not be such a pick-me and put all the blame on the girl, and actually have men hold like accountability for the shit they do. Obviously, me and that man broke up, you know, yada yada yada. But I just think that's ridiculous, you know? So basically, I want to ask this question of, maybe it isn't Sophia, maybe it isn't, you know, Haley. Maybe it's the man, y'all. Maybe it's the guy. The guy's the fucked up one. You know what I mean? Like the whole Sophia and Haley and all that shit, it all basically stemmed from the fact that Sophia went on a date with this girl's boyfriend, right? Not boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever, right? And Haley was really upset. And she basically was really upset and felt like that was stabbing in the back. But like, isn't it weird for your boyfriend to go out with someone that's like close to you somewhat? And that's how I needed to think about it, you know, 4 years ago. Isn't it weird that your boyfriend's in the backseat with your friend shirtless? You know what I mean? That's just a question that we need to ask ourselves. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I can kind of sympathize with myself back then just because I was head over heels. But basically, guys, don't be head over heels. Thank you so much for watching my entire video, guys. I've been trying to post more, and let me know in the comments if you guys like my messy makeup Mondays or messy tea makeup Mondays, whatever name I decide to come up with it. Let me know if you like these and want me to do more, and comment more types of story times that I should do, or like topics that I should talk about, because I love ranting, guys, and I can rant for hours and hours and hours. So just let me know in the comments, guys. And we are so close to 40K, guys. I believe we're only like 2,000 subscribers away. So subscribe to me. Subscribe to me if you can. If you don't want to, that's fine. And make sure you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and yeah, say hi to me in the comments if you can't think of anything interesting to say. But I will see you guys another time. Bye, guys.
Missing someone